And that was Bartleby Bannister playing us in with his current #1 jazz lute hit, Baby Let's Get Married Because Our Parents Said So. Great song.
Great song.
I think you'd agree he really struck a chord with that one. Welcome everyone to the Podcastle. It's currently what we assume to be the top of the hour, though to be honest, we're not entirely sure because it's overcast. I'm Gregory Falconworth.
And I'm Benedict Cumberbatch.
Great to see you, Ben.
Great to be here.
This episode of the Podcastle is brought to you by taxes. Pay them or you die.
I love paying taxes.
I know you do, buddy. Today's top story, King George I has finally remarried after the accidental beheading of his wife Elizabeth over a week ago. This is actually the 4th consecutive accidental beheading of a queen since the king took the throne. Let's hope this next one is a bit more careful around the castle.
Or has a thick neck.
Right, you are as always, Benedict. Well, that brings us to our first guest. He's our regular and most trusted source for all things medical, Dr. Borin Holdingshire. Welcome back, Doctor.
Great to be back, Greg.
Great to see you.
Yeah, it's great.
Doctor,
Benedict,
great to see you.
always great to be here.
So, Doctor, tell me, what's new in the medical community?
Well, as you know, we have a bit of a plague going on right now, and it's getting pretty serious. In fact, we think that this plague is the second greatest threat to human civilization. Behind sodomy, of course. But it has claimed thousands of lives.
Yeah, man, my dog died.
From the plague?
No, old age.
Anyway, contrary to prior studies, we doctors have discovered that the plague is not caused by infidelity, but rather through tiny creatures invisible to the human eye that attach themselves to common house rats. Now, these bacterium, as we're calling them, carry the disease, but I do believe we can find a cure through...
Well, that's interesting because the king says that the plague is just a myth spread by the Spanish in order to cause fear and panic amongst the peasants.
Yep, that's it. The king, he's a smart guy.
Let's take some calls. Welcome to the Podcastle, your voice is in the air.
Hey there, long-time peasant, first-time caller. I got a question for Dr. B here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little lightheaded and lethargic, and my nose is a bit stuffy. What would you recommend I do?
Well, based on your symptoms, it sounds like what you have there is a case of what we like to call in the medical world is bad blood. Now, in order to start healing, what you're going to want to do is get all that bad blood out of your system. Find something sharp, like a knife or an axe or a stick, and just go to town on yourself. Ideally, you'd like to find a place in the body that looks like it would just start gushing, okay? Now do this after every meal for a week, and you'll clear right up.
How much blood do I...
Until you feel better.
Okay, how much...
You'll know.
Are you sure?
Let's take another caller. Welcome to the Podcastle. You're on with Dr. Borin.
Hey there, Doc. I'm in really bad shape here. My skin's peeling off, my fingers turn black, my teeth are falling out, my neck is swollen, I'm coughing up blood on a regular basis, and I haven't pooped in a fortnight. I'm hanging on by a thread, Doc. I fear the dark angel of death is upon me. Please, help me.
That sounds pretty serious, caller. Have you tried prayer?
Yes, of course. Every day. But I've only gotten worse.
Well, clearly you haven't prayed hard enough. You're probably going to hell. Goodbye.
Ooh, those symptoms don't sound great at all.
Yeah, not great, not great.
It's interesting, though, because those symptoms exactly match the symptoms of the plague. But that can't be right because the king says that the plague doesn't exist.
Well, Doctor, it's been a pleasure.
Great to have you.
Always great to see you guys.
Looks like we've got some breaking news from the sports world. Jousting legend Sir Lance the Strongarm has tested positive for performance-enhancing substances. Turns out he's been ingesting huge loads of horse semen for years. As punishment, he's been stripped of all of his awards, received a lifetime ban from jousting, and put to death. Moving on to politics, we now like to bring on our senior political analyst and hand of the king, Bartholomew Winterwell.
Hey, Barty!
Hey, sup?
Bartholomew, how have you been?
Very well, Gregory.
Fantastic. How are things in the throne room?
Well, our kingdom is now more prosperous than ever. The king's approval rating is through the roof. In fact, he is currently polling at 110%, if you can believe that.
I can believe that.
And things have only been improving since the tax on mead and fornication.
Isn't it amazing what one man can do for an entire society?
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Monarchy is the way to go. I cannot imagine a more fair and balanced society.
I completely agree. Well, I think we have time for one more caller. What do you think, Ben? Do we have enough time?
I can't tell time.
Welcome to the Podcastle.
Hey, yeah, I got some things I want to say to this Winterwell guy.
Oh, good day, citizen.
Save it, brother. I'm tired of you coming on here and spreading all your filthy lies and propaganda.
Oh, I assure you that all of my information is of the utmost accuracy. The king himself verifies it.
Oh, does he? And what exactly qualifies the king to speak on anything? He has no education, no formal training.
Excuse me, he was appointed by God?
Is he? And how exactly do we know this?
Because he told us?
More likely, he's exploiting people's inherent fear of God in order to hide the fact that he has absolutely no real qualifications. If he actually wanted to help this kingdom, he'd step down and let someone more capable rule it.
Hey, I gotta stop you there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special caller, the king himself.
You may rise, my loyal subjects.
Your Majesty, this is a tremendous honor. How can we help you?
Well, I wanted to address the concerns of this caller here. Look, son, you bring up some very valid points, and I just wouldn't be a good king if I didn't take the time to sit down and listen to the strong voices of the common man.
Really? I did?
My friend, what's your name?
My name is Wilhelm McGavish.
Lovely. And where do you live, Wilhelm?
St. Barfield upon Avon.
I know the very place. Do you happen to live near the lake?
Why, yes, I do. Right on it, by the great oak tree.
Ah, yes. Quite. Gods, kill him!
What?
What did you think was gonna happen? I'm the king! Seriously, man, for someone who thinks they're so smart, you sure are dumb. No qualifications. I'm legally qualified to kill you with no repercussions. Do you know how awesome that is? Oh, and I'm out, bitches!
That's all the time we have for today's episode. We'd like to thank our guests, Dr. Holdingshire and Mr. Winterwell.
Great to see you, Barty.
Great to see you, Ben.
Great to have you.
Great to be here.
Thanks everyone for listening to the Podcastle, and remember, if you're not listening, it's treason. Goodbye.